Picture this: Europe at the dawn of the 20th century, a continent teetering on the brink. A tapestry of nations, each thread representing a complex weave of culture, politics and aspirations, forming a volatile pattern that was the political landscape of Europe. The great powers of the time, Britain, France, Germany, Austria-Hungary and Russia, were locked in a delicate dance of alliances and rivalries. This intricate ballet was a constant source of tension, a ticking time bomb, with each power vying for control, influence and prestige. And then there was the Balkans, a region simmering with a fervent nationalism that was reaching fever pitch. The Balkans, often referred to as the powder keg of Europe, was a melting pot of ethnicities and religions, each with its own set of grievances and aspirations. The Ottoman Empire's decline and the Austro-Hungarian Empire's expansionist tendencies added fuel to the fire. The Balkan nations, including Serbia, yearned for freedom and unification, a dream that was constantly thwarted by the imperialistic ambitions of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This was a time of great unrest, a time of change. The Industrial Revolution was transforming societies, economies were expanding, and with it the thirst for power and control was growing. Nationalism, the belief in the superiority of one's own nation or ethnic group, was on the rise, adding another layer of complexity to the already volatile situation. Now imagine a single spark in this powder keg, a spark that could ignite the fuse, leading to an explosion of unimaginable magnitude. This was the world in which Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and Gavrilo Princip, a young Bosnian Serb nationalist, found themselves. Two men whose paths would cross in the most tragic of circumstances, setting off a chain of events that would change the course of history forever. In this volatile mix of power and nationalism, a single event would light the fuse that would ignite the First World War. June 28, 1914. A day that would go down in history, a day that would change the world. It was a day like any other in the Balkan city of Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Yet beneath the surface, tensions were simmering, about to reach a boiling point. On this fateful day, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was in town with his wife, Sophie. Their visit was part of a diplomatic tour aimed at strengthening the empire's authority in this turbulent region. Unbeknownst to them, a group of young Bosnian Serb nationalists had plans of their own. Among these young men was Gavrilo Princip, a 19-year-old who had grown disillusioned with the empire's rule. He and his comrades belonged to a secret society known as the Black Hand, committed to the cause of Serbian unification. The morning of June 28th started like any other. The royal couple, escorted by a motorcade, paraded through the city street. In the aftermath of the assassination, the world held its breath. The shockwaves of the Sarajevo incident reverberated across the globe, setting the stage for a series of events that would reshape the world as we knew it. The immediate aftermath of the assassination saw Austria-Hungary, with Germany's backing, issuing an ultimatum to Serbia. The demands were of such a nature that Serbia was bound to reject, providing the perfect excuse for Austria-Hungary to declare war. This declaration set off a domino effect, activating a network of alliances and ententes that had been simmering beneath the surface of European politics. With Austria-Hungary and Germany on one side, and Serbia, Russia, and their allies on the other, the world was divided into two opposing camps. The Great War, as it was called back then, was about to begin. Over the next 4 years, from 1914 to 1918, the world was plunged into a conflict of unprecedented scale and horror. The war was fought not just in the trenches, but also at sea and in the air. It was a war that saw the advent of new and deadly technologies, from tanks and machine guns to poison gas and submarines, making it one of the most lethal conflicts in human history. But the consequences of the assassination extended well beyond the immediate outbreak of war. The conflict shattered empires, redrawn maps, and gave birth to new nations. It altered the balance of power, setting the stage for a century marked by wars, revolutions, and dramatic shifts in ideology. In the end, what started as a single act of violence in Sarajevo spiraled into a global conflict that claimed the lives of over 17 million people and left countless others scarred and traumatized. It was a stark reminder of the destructive power of nationalism, militarism, and imperial rivalry, lessons that continue to resonate in our world today. The assassination in Sarajevo set in motion a chain of events that led to the most devastating war the world had ever seen. History, they say, is the greatest teacher. It provides us with a mirror, reflecting both the triumphs and tragedies of our collective past. The Sarajevo assassination is one such reflection, a pivotal moment that sent ripples across continents and generations. In the aftermath of the assassination, the world was plunged into the cataclysm of the Great War. Yet, this event was not just about the spark that ignited World War I. It's a tale of how individual actions can have far-reaching consequences. A young man, Gavrilo Princip, driven by nationalistic fervor, triggered a sequence of events that altered millions of lives. This moment in history also underlines the dangers of unchecked nationalism and the perils of power politics. The escalating tensions between the great powers, fueled by nationalistic sentiments and geopolitical ambitions, created a volatile environment ripe for conflict. The assassination was the spark, but the kindling had been accumulating for years. Moreover, the assassination underscores the importance of diplomatic solutions. The failure of diplomacy in the wake of the assassination, where ultimatums replaced negotiations and saber-rattling substituted for dialogue, led to a devastating conflict. It's a lesson that resonates even today, reminding us of the value of open communication, negotiation, and compromise in maintaining peace. As we reflect on the Sarajevo assassination, let's remember that the study of history is not merely an exercise in remembering dates and events. It's about understanding the intricate web of cause and effect, discerning patterns, and drawing lessons that can guide our actions today. History, as a teacher, urges us to learn from our past mistakes, to be vigilant of the narratives we subscribe to and the decisions we make. It encourages us to strive for a world where dialogue triumphs over discord, where understanding overcomes fear, where peace prevails over war. The Sarajevo assassination teaches us about the power of individual actions, the dangers of nationalism, and the importance of diplomatic solutions. It is a reminder that history is not just about the past, but also about understanding our present and shaping our future.